Hey guys, Danny here. Today I want to go through, I know a lot's been going on with Eureka, with the exchange, unfortunately there, but with all that happened, I think we're in a much better place now going forward, what we're doing, and I'm going to try to go ahead and explain everything to you, how we're turning this really into a community development project, and you'll understand why. And the whole idea is to bring value to Eureka and IPX and all the governance tokens that we're going to create. So I did a video before on infinity chains, but the plan has kind of changed there and it's got better, to tell you the truth. But before we do that, let's talk about Eureka Stake and how we're going to decentralize that. So let's say each project that's going to be released, each decentralized app in the beginning of the chain will have a total amount of 500 million governance tokens. 300 million are going to go directly into Eureka Stake and be given away in a decentralized manner. So basically what you'll do is you'll go to the site and you'll go in with your MetaMask on Eureka Smart Chain and you'll deposit your Eureka. So you'll be staking Eureka in a decentralized manner because nobody is going to be holding that Eureka except that smart contract, and the only person that has access to it is you and your MetaMask wallet. Your MetaMask being your identity, your MetaMask address. So let's say 30 million Eureka are in the staker, right? Now, when the first D app on each chain is ready, those 300 million governance tokens will be sent into that smart contract and it'll go out right away. There's no more 1 week, 100% returns or any of that. It just gets divvied up between everybody that's already in the staker. So if there's 30 million Eureka in the staker and there's 300 million governance tokens coming into it, it means each Eureka is going to get 10 governance tokens. So say you had 100,000 Eureka in there, boom, you're going to get 1 million governance tokens. Now you're part owner of that decentralized application and the beginning of that chain. Okay? So we can't wait to get that going because all the problems we ever have are because of centralization, deposits, withdrawals, the staker's not paying, all of that. That won't happen anymore. It'll be a very simple site. These D apps are actually very basic in the way they work, so it's just going to be so much better, so much easier, and no more need for support. You do it yourself. Boom. Nobody will ever know when those governance tokens are coming in there. They'll just send it, and whoever's in the staker at the time, they get it. Okay. So that's that. Okay, so the way it's going to work, the way we envision this working is, okay, now you have a community that owns governance tokens in a decentralized application. Now let's say that decentralized application is an NFT marketplace, right? There'll be ways that the app makes money from that decentralized marketplace. Since it's going to be on Eureka Smart Chain, you're going to need Eureka to do anything in there in your Eureka Smart Chain MetaMask wallet. Right? So if you want to buy an NFT in there, you're going to need to go across somewhere and buy Eureka, right? Where are you going to buy that? Well, you're going to buy it in our swap sites. So you buy your Eureka, send it to your MetaMask wallet, then you go into your NFT site, you buy, you list, you do whatever you're going to do in there, but you need Eureka to be able to do that. So that's bringing liquidity. And now let's say you build inside of the D app, say a 10% commission on any sales of NFTs go to the D app, which goes to the governance token holders, basically, right? So then we'll have two wallet addresses. We'll have one that will be for the benefit of token holders, not for the benefit, for the value of token holders, say like buyback and burn or airdrops. Most likely buyback and burn, and I'll explain to you why I think that's a better idea, actually. So let's say 25% goes to the value of governance tokens in the form of burning. Then there's going to be a community development fund that'll take 75% of the earnings. Both of these public addresses, right? So like every once in a while, that 25% fund can just come out and go in and buy that token and burn it. Now, when it buys that token, these profits are going to be in Eureka, I guess. So it's going to go into the Eureka and that governance token pair, and that's going to create liquidity for Eureka and for that token, right? So then the other 75% is going to go to another public address. Everything's public, everything's trackable, and that address will be for developing. So when we have enough in that wallet address, we're thinking about like $3,000 to build a new D app. Boom, what we do is we'll come into the community, we'll ask people, what do you guys want? We'll collect, like, say, the 4 most popular ideas, and we go across and we put it on the blockchain, and we have a blockchain vote, and every governance token has a vote. We'll do videos and stuff on how to do that. I've honestly never done that myself, but we'll figure it out and we'll do it. And then that most popular vote, that's what we do with those funds. If it's to build another NFT site, we do that. It's all up to the community. Now, say you have 2, 3 D apps going now, right? It's going to be the same governance token. The second D app, the third D app, the fourth D app in that chain are still going to have that same governance token and those same 2 addresses, 25% and 75%. Say you get up to 10 D apps and nobody really knows another D app to do, and they say, okay, well, let's do a marketing campaign. Okay, we go into the community, you guys give us your idea, get some quotes. Who do you want to use for this? I mean, we can even get an advertising partner to use for this too, to give another option. And then how much do you want to spend? $5,000 is in there. Okay, let's spend $5,000 on a advertising campaign, and the next time you want to do a landing page, we do that. It's all up to the community. It's all, the vote is in the hands of the community, of the governance token holders. This is what we want. We don't want people pointing at us, why aren't you doing this or this or this? It's not ours, it's yours, it's everybody's. This is the idea that we want to do, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's great. I really do. So now you think each one of these D apps that's built, that 25% that's going to buy back and burn or airdrops, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger with each app. Now think about once you've got just 3 D apps. Each one of those D apps only needs to make about $1,000 a piece. Then you got 3,000 in that wallet, boom, we get another vote. Go forward, forward, forward. So what we're going to do is our developers, that we actually have 4 developers on our team now, blockchain, and 3 other guys to hook up the UIs and the websites and everything else. They're going to be doing this in their spare time, after work, stuff like that, to get the first ones out there. Then when when the first one's out there and those addresses start building up, then it starts to kick in. That's the idea. So we will start off the first D app of each chain. The next D app is up to the community of governance holders. Cool? I think so. So we are going to do everything decentralized. We're not going to have any more centralized anything, to tell you the truth. We don't want to do any more support. Every time we have problems, it's with the centralized website. We don't want it anymore. We're just going to do everything community development. Build it, build it, build it. The only way the company can make money is by bringing value to Eureka and to the governance tokens and IPX. So we'll be holding some of those too. Out of that 500 million, 300 will go to the staker, 100 will go to airdrop token, that we're trying to figure out how to do that to build community, to bring more people in, and 100 million will go to the company for further developments and stuff like that, to support hiring back everybody at a full-time wage and all of that. So we have to bring value to these as a community. We all have to work together, and that's the idea. So once this starts getting going, we'll have a way for people to get these airdrop tokens to go, okay, well, what are these guys doing? I can get some free tokens. I'll go over there and get those. They'll put them into like Eureka Stake. So instead of staking Eureka, you'll be staking these airdrop tokens to get some of those 100 million. So that gives us a way to build community as well. That's kind of the idea. We don't have an exact way we're going to do it, but we do know it'll stake like that to receive it. We're not too sure yet. Still working on it. And okay, so with these developers we got, as we build, as the first app has enough money to build an app, now we can start paying their companies to build them. So the first one could go a bit slow. Well, I would say slow, but it could take a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks for one app, which actually with 3-4 of these going, that means we'll have one app a week, even at the slowest. Once we get into the second app in the chains and they start going and we have funds to pay to get it done, it's going to go a lot faster and it's going to be a lot cheaper than we could have ever done it with Eureka Blockchain. A lot cheaper and a lot faster. What we were doing on Eureka Blockchain was writing all the code. Now we're not going to be writing all the code. We're basically copying all the code, right? So much faster, much cheaper. But when we have that second app up, we can actually pay for it. These developers that we have, one of them has his own company. We can actually pay his company. Now he can pay his workers to work on this and get it done in a couple of days, actually. So we're talking about boom, boom, boom. So the reason that is because we're going over with the Eureka Smart Chain. We're building it, and it's actually already up. They've already tested MetaMask with it. Noah has, and he says, yeah, that works no problem. That guy's awesome. He's getting it set up. They're hooking up the Explorer now, and basically, it's like this. We come out to the community on the second app and say, what do you guys want? What kind of decentralized app do you want to see? Give us a website. You know, let's have a vote on it. We can vote right there in the group. What do you guys want? Boom. For the first ones. For the second one, it'll go through the governance token, but same thing. What do you guys want? Okay, go out. All you'll have to do is give us the website address. Where is it? Once we have that, we can go into GitHub. Now, this is what I didn't understand before. I knew they had the smart contracts in GitHub, but they have more than that. They've actually got everything in GitHub. They've got the website, they've got all the coding, they've got the smart contracts, and they also have a user manual that teaches you how to connect everything because it's all open source. It's all on GitHub. Yeah, and a lot of them have already been audited too. So Noah goes across and takes a smart contract, makes a few adjustments to that, sends it to the other devs. That's all he's got to do. Then he can send the link to them for all the instructions, all the coding, the website, everything. We make some changes, 10-15%, something like that, so it works with Eureka and how we want it to work. We put in the taxation system and all that kind of stuff, change the website a bit, put our logo on it, and boom, we're off, right? Instead of building it from scratch like we would have been doing with Eureka Blockchain. Now, we're not leaving the Eureka blockchain completely behind. I look at it like we had a really hot engine in a really shitty car, right? So we've taken this great engine out of a Model T and we're putting it in a Ferrari. What do I mean by that? Let's have a look. This is, let me move my face. This is the Eureka Block Explorer, right? Some people complain they could never see the tokens. Where did they go? And a little bit clunky, a little bit old. This is what we'll be using. Oh, that's not it. I just clicked that before. BSC scan. So basically what we're going to be using the same as Ethereum does, because Ethereum, Polkadot, and Binance Smart Chain is all the same explorers. So when Binance did their fork or whatever, they just used Ethereum's Explorer. So this is exactly what we're going to have. Going to change it a bit so it works with Eureka Smart Chain. Taking all the developments that were done over the years in Eureka Blockchain, and we're plugging those in too, and also building some other pretty cool stuff that Noah's working on right now to give us like virtual private side chains that can set their own parameters as far as transaction fees, everything else, and they'll work with basically a Lightning Network transaction setup so that they can, their side chains, they can operate everything within those side chains. A few times a day, they go across and do the bulk transactions. So they can send maybe 10,000 transactions and get charged for one. So we're actually talking about a way to not only save money by using a blockchain, but actually profit from it. I'm not going to go too much into that, but This is something that, okay, for the side chains, we've been working on it for a couple of years. We asked Noah yesterday, after we get everything up and running, how long do you think it would take? And he was like, well, it depends. If I'm not busy doing other stuff, maybe 3 weeks. So it means that basically what he's doing there, that architecture, we're going to use that for every single D app, every single chain we do, but it's also built, it'll be built so like big companies can come off and have their own side chains. They're not causing any congestion at all in the main chain. And they have already got the security of the blockchain plus another layer of security of basically having their own blockchain with their own tokens and set up their own parameters. It's really next level stuff. And because now taking our blockchain and plugging it into this environment with the use of MetaMask and everything else that people already use across different blockchains. You've got the Ethereum. I can go on to Polygon testnet. I can go out on Tether. I can come over to permissions, Smart Chain, Binance, and this is what we'll be using for the Eureka Smart Chain. So you'll be keeping your Eureka in here, and everything's already there for going interlopability. If you're using Bitcoin, a wrapped version of Bitcoin on Eureka Smart Chain, it means it's in a vault on Ethereum, Binance, or Polygon. We've taken a wrapped version across because we can do that. We're EMV compatible, Ethereum virtual machine. So we've got Ethereum addresses and all that. I hope I'm not confusing you, but the main point of it was, look at this Explorer compared to this Explorer. We're upgrading things massively. Production is going to increase massively because now we can take the smart contract. We've not only got the website, all the coding already done, we actually got a user manual on how to hook it all up. So we're going to be coming out, boom, 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 one app after the next, after the next, after the next. How are we going to promote it? You're going to promote it. Governance token holders are going to vote on how to promote it, when to promote it. It's community. This is all about building community value. And every single one of these apps that come out is bringing more liquidity, more use case to Eureka. So if somebody wants to go into, maybe we have a gambling site, decentralized gambling site. People like to gamble, I don't know why, but the guy wants to gamble $1,000. He's going to have to go over to the swap site, buy $1,000 worth of Eureka, which also kicks in the liquidity of IPX, right? And take that into his MetaMask and then go gamble. And that D app's going to make some profits. Those profits are going to go in to help develop more apps, buy back and burn, bring up the value of that governance token. It's all tied in, and it's also all tied in with Eureka Stake. Now, I'll kind of go off here a little bit and give you an idea of my own sort of thing I'm thinking about how to approach this. Say whatever you're getting out of Eureka Stake, you could do something like keep 75%, take 25%, sell into the swaps over the course of say 4 months. This is just for example. But part of that 25 cents you could use to swap to Eureka and go into liquidity pools to earn IPX, right? And yeah, then you're putting that IPX in the bank. Then you could also take to earn more Eureka, and you could also take some of that 25% to go off to swap for Eureka to send that back to get a bigger chunk of Eureka Stake as well. Because if you're in Eureka Stake, man, these D apps, when we start off slow production, should be coming out once a week. Once we get up to the second and the third and the next D apps and the chains, you've got 4 D apps running instead of 1 to make $3,000 to build another one. You see how it can speed up and speed up and speed up. So that liquidity becomes more. But the whole idea too is to create use case. We want use case. We want people putting Eureka in their MetaMask wallet on the Eureka Smart Chain and go into these D apps and do whatever they're going to do. So whatever you're going to do, you need Eureka for transaction fees. Put Eureka under more demand, more buyback. Anytime somebody buys it, somebody's got to sell it. We still got the 10% taxation that kicks in, and we burn. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for right now. I think that's kind of enough to swallow. That's kind of where we're headed. That's what we're thinking. And you know, like I said, it all ties in. And if you're not in Eureka Stake, you need to start thinking about getting in there. Once it goes decentralized, like everything's going to be decentralized. The world's in your hands, guys. Everything's in your hands. Advertising, the whole thing. I mean, of course, with like company holdings of these governance tokens, as they start to build value, we can start doing some, you know, stuff for the blockchain itself. But really, we want people to use the decentralized apps, and we're going to build so many of them. Just on a law of average, if a few of them do good, we're creating our own ecosystem for our swap sites already, just with our own tokens, right? Now, somebody wants to swap off their XYZ token, but they say there's no liquidity in the USDT pair. What I would say is go add some. If you want to make some money out of it, add some liquidity. As these start coming through faster and faster, we could have 4 or 5 coming out a week. You know, you'll be able to keep swapping and you'll be making some profits and you'll be able to start contributing to that liquidity to keep it going. Yeah, there's so many different angles to this, and everything is so much better now. I mean, honestly, using MetaMask, wallet problems, no, we've got MetaMask. Finance Smart Chain Explorer, boom, there you go. We'll be using it across, you know, everything. It's just the total and complete upgrade of the blockchain. There's so many more use cases. There's already all these facilities for us to use, even wallets. How easy is it for us to get into other wallets now? Because they're already using Ethereum wallet addresses. That's the common thing with all of these blockchains, is they all use an Ethereum wallet address. In fact, in your MetaMask, your deposit address on Ethereum, even Polygon testnet, every single one of these is the same. It's exactly the same. It is an Ethereum wallet address. So we are actually using all these facilities that people have spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to build. We're actually using their apps that they've spent lots of money to build. They've paid people to do all the hard work for us, all the coding, the websites, smart contracts and everything. We're just going to go over and take them right off the open source website, which is GitHub. And also, to tell you the truth, when we set up these side chains, the idea with that too is put that code out there so it's easy for people to use. We want other developers coming and building across Eureka blockchain. If they see, look, I can bring my business over to this blockchain, run it on a side chain with my own token and my own parameters, and make a profit, that's a step ahead of everybody. Everybody's looking for the cheapest blockchain to use. What if you had your own side chain where you could actually profit off the transactions that are happening inside your side chain? There you go. Or you could even make it free. If you're making enough money out of that business that you're running in that side chain and you want to bring more people in, you say, hey, we got free transaction fees. That's within your side chain. Great. So you're making enough profit. So you're paying when they get deployed to the Eureka Smart Chain, because they'll still get sent in Lightning Network bulk transactions. That's still going to happen. So those will always be paid, but we're getting people to use. Now you might say, okay, well, if those bulk transactions aren't so much, you still got to think about everybody that's inside of these side chains is going to need a MetaMask wallet with Eureka. Everybody. I don't, unless they're doing free transactions, but then the company's going to have to pay those transactions. It's great. You're using the blockchain. So that's it for me, guys. I'm going to stop now. I don't know how long that was. 24 minutes. That wasn't too bad. So we'll open this up in the group for questions. And we'll do the best we can to answer them. Okay, guys. Thanks. Bye.